Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Hashem, Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same, teaching the same. Okay, this is not really a sit down, this is just a video telling you to go watch this elder's video, okay? Remnant Save 144. Alright, the mixed multitude in Egypt were not Israelites, okay? So you can go watch this elder's video. Alright, I'm gonna watch it too. I'm gonna watch it after I watch another brother's video, actually. Okay. And Lord willing, you're edified. Okay. And this let me wind this window up. Alright. I ain't gonna make it long. Alright, but well, I have to make it long enough so it can post as a regular video and not a short video. Okay, or a reel. But yeah, for those sincere listeners out there, you can watch this elders sit down and be edified. Okay. Alright. An elder Apostle Tahar commented. Alright. So a lot of brothers is, doing sit downs on and things like that. Alright. And I'll get a precept just for edification's sake, and because I'm trying to make sure the video is at least 5 minutes or 7 minutes. That way it can actually post as a regular video. Alright. Scripture say, let all things be done for edification. Should pop up. Is it the edification or edifying? Alright. So this Romans 15:2. Alright, Romans 15:2, it says, let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. Alright. Okay. So, this brings edification. Alright. First Corinthians 14:3. 1 Corinthians 14:3, it says, But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. Alright, so that's why we do these lessons. Because like I said, I sit down on this very same lesson. You got the false prophets, teaching lies. Okay. So if the false prophets is going 10 times harder, how much more should we? Okay. You got the false prophets, they going in overdrive. So they going harder. So how much more should we go harder? For this truth and making sure the Hofi elect is being spiritually, protected and up the part on the scriptures. Okay. So it says well, that's pretty much it. Well, let me see. Okay, 4 minutes. That's pretty much it. Let me get some more precepts. Alright. Let's go back.
Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rachakorash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations to the elect. And I wanted to do a response to this video uploaded by the elder Apostle Tahar. As you can see, is the 666 Mark 2 GMS Truth. Subscribe. The title of the video is What Say Y'all? Alright, and here it is, more nasty work from the ISUPK. A caller called in asking, was the mixed multitude that left out of Egypt with the Israelites actual heathen, or were they Israelites? And let's hear his response.
He came to a question where he asked you were there strangers in the wilderness with us when we were in Egypt. He asked you were the strangers Israelites.
Right.
And you said there was no other. Yes, you said yes, the strangers was Israelites, and you also said that there was no mixed multitude that went out with Israel out of the land of Egypt.
No, there was a mixed multitude that went out with the children of Israel, but that mixed multitude was men, women, and children that was not a part of the military of Israel. Let's rewind that back.
So basically, he said that there was no mixed multitude that came out of Egypt with the Israelites. And there was. All right. The thing is, they were not entered into the covenant. All right. Look, there's going to be a remnant of heathen that are here on earth. When we established the kingdom of heaven, there was a multitude of heathen. All right. At the time of Solomon, when he established, David's throne, there were heathen left over that David didn't put to death. And what did Solomon do with them? Okay, he put them into servitude. Okay, and you got to understand, in Egypt, as we get the mixed multitude story, if we go to Exodus, the 12th chapter, you have to understand, as we were being exodus out of Egypt, many of the Israelites from other, areas were coming, all right, to be down with their brethren. They were called strangers who didn't have inheritance rights, but ultimately, if they had servants, all right, their servants would be a part of their household. They would be accounted as a part of their household. And as you see here in Exodus, the 12th chapter, in the 37th verse, it says, "And the children of Israel sojourned from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, all right, that were men beside children." All right. Again, when you read this in the NLT, it says, "That night the people of Israel left Ramesses and started forth for Succoth. There were about 600,000 men, plus all the children and women." All right, the women and the children. See that? And the next verse, all right, verse 38, "A rabble of non-Israelites went with them, along with great flocks of herds and livestock." So here it is, you have this mixed multitude numbered amongst the cattle. All right, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks, all right, and herds, and very much cattle. So who is this talking about? Captain Tazariak is saying that this isn't actual heathen, because you have a group of people, Christians in particular, but even certain Israelites, that will bring up this mixed multitude and say that this somehow gives heathen salvation. No, it doesn't give heathen salvation. But won't heathen be in the kingdom? Won't heathen be on earth? Yes, there were particular heathen, non-Israelites, that left out of Egypt with the Israelites, but none of them were entered into the covenant that was given unto the children of Israel, man. Okay, and as you keep reading, right? As you keep reading, let's go to...
And Sluggy. That's just a little snippet for y'all sincere listeners. You can go watch the rest of the video. All right. Like I said, I'm intrigued by, it was another video another brother did that caught my eye. It's dealing with Jacob's trouble and things like that, but still though, I had one. It's not as long as this one, but I'm gonna still go ahead and watch it. Then I'm gonna come back and watch this one. But Lord willing, this was edifying. All right, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Harakak Badash, and double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same, teaching the same.